Guidelines for return substitutes. Law 3. The players. 3.2. Number of substitutions. Return substitutions. The use of return substitutions is only permitted in youth, veterans, disability, and grassroots football, subject to the agreement of the National Football Association, Confederation, or FIFA. A return substitute is a player who has already played in the match and has been substituted, a substituted player, and later in the match returns to play by replacing another player. Match. All other provisions of Law 3 and the laws of the game apply to return substitutes. In particular, the substitution procedure outlined in Law 3 must be followed. 3.2. Number of substitutions. Additional permanent concussion substitutions. Competitions may use additional permanent concussion substitutions in accordance with the protocol listed under Notes and Modifications. NB. Although 2 different protocols were used during the trials, a single protocol was approved at the IFAB AGM and must be used in its entirety. Principles. Each team is permitted to use a maximum of 1 concussion substitute in a match. A concussion substitution may be made regardless of the number of substitutes already used. In competitions in which the number of named substitutes is the same as the maximum number of normal substitutes that can be used, the concussion substitute can be a player who has previously been substituted and may be used at any time, regardless of the number of substitutes already used. When a concussion substitute is used, the opposing team then has the option to use an additional substitute for any reason. Procedure. The substitution procedure operates in accordance with Law 3. The players, except as outlined otherwise below. A concussion substitution may be made immediately after a concussion occurs or is suspected, after an on-field assessment and/or an off-field assessment, or at any other time when a concussion occurs or is suspected, including when a player has previously been assessed and has returned to the field of play. If a team decides to make a concussion substitution, the referee, 4th official, is informed, ideally by using a substitution card, form of a different color. The player with concussion or suspected concussion is not permitted to take any further part in the match, including penalties, penalty shootout, and should, where possible, be accompanied to the dressing room and/or a medical facility. The opposing team is informed by the referee, 4th official, that it has the option of using an additional substitute and an additional substitution opportunity, which may be used concurrently with the concussion substitution made by the other team, or at any time thereafter, except as outlined otherwise in the laws of the game. Substitution opportunities. Making a concussion substitution is separate from any limit on the number of normal substitution opportunities. However, if a team makes a normal substitution at the same time as a concussion substitution, this will count as one of its normal substitution opportunities. Once a team has used all its normal substitution opportunities, it cannot use a concussion substitution to make a normal substitution. Where a team makes a concussion substitution, the opposing team can use an additional substitute and receives an additional substitution opportunity. This additional opportunity can be used only for the additional substitute and not for a normal substitute. Match officials. The referee and other match officials, especially the 4th official, are not part of a team's decision-making process as to whether a player should be substituted or not, nor whether a player should be replaced by a normal substitute or a concussion substitute. Must not decide whether an actual or suspected injury qualifies for a concussion substitute to be used. Should give appropriate support where a player has an actual or suspected injury, including by informing the team captain, coach, and/or medical staff if they suspect that a player needs to be assessed and/or treated. Should support a decision by the team captain, coach, and/or medical staff that an injured player cannot continue playing, which may require the referee to delay the restart until after the player has left the field of play, and must inform the appropriate authorities if there are concerns that a concussion substitution has been made inappropriately.